Hi guys, Dr. Huntington here. In another video, I covered the three things which set the foundation for diabetes. And one of them was a lack of knowledge. And of course, as you might guess, where many diabetics have difficulties in what kinds of foods they should be eating. Now, in other videos, I get very specific about foods that can help a diabetic control their blood sugar. But here, we're going to look at something more fundamental. Mainly, what is food? If you ask people that question, as I have, you'll get some very interesting answers. And it's impossible for all the answers you'll get to be right, because many of them are going to be different, and some of them are actually conflicting. So here's some answers I've actually gotten. So I asked the question, okay, so tell me, what is food? Well, Dr. Huntington, food is what I eat when I'm hungry. All right, well, that doesn't really tell us too much, so we'll look at another one. Dr. Huntington, food is it's whatever I like to eat. All right, well, that would get me in trouble, so let's look at another one. Food is anything that my body can use for energy. Now, that definition is a bit closer, but is still missing the mark just a little bit. Or I've gotten this one. Dr. Huntington, food is cheese fries and a Coke, or a hot dog and potato chips and fried chicken. And I don't even know what else that guy was going to say, because I told him, stop. Walter, just stop. I can't listen to that any longer. Let's just look at the definition of the word food. All right, so the definition of the word food, by the way, why are we looking up definitions? Well, the reason it's a good idea to use a dictionary to help figure out what food actually is because there are so many things that people consume which are not actually food. They are something else, but they're not food. Okay, so here's a definition of food from Merriam-Webster. Food is a material consisting essentially of protein, carbohydrate, and fat used in the body of an organism to sustain growth, repair, and vital processes, and to furnish energy. Okay, so first, it's got to be made of or come from protein, carbohydrate, or fat. So that just eliminated a whole bunch of the stuff that people are cramming in their mouth every day. Things like artificial sweeteners, MSG, synthetic trans fats, that's going to be in things like margarine or vegetable shortening, partially hydrogenated vegetable oils, artificial colorings, common preservatives. And that's just a short list of some of the things that are non-foods that people are eating every single day. Okay, so the next part of the definition is this: to sustain growth, repair, and vital processes. So this means that what you put in your mouth and swallow needs to sustain growth, repair, and vital processes. This means that in order for something to be food, it must contribute to the function or the growth of your body. And we're not talking about growth this way, right? That doesn't count. Here, growth means development of new or enhanced tissue. For instance, your body creates new cells every day, and your body needs food in order for those cells to grow. So those cells are made up of parts. So where does your body get those parts? Well, it's mainly from the food that you eat. Your body also needs food in order to repair damaged tissue. For example, every cell in your body is made up of what is called the cell membrane. It actually separates the outside area of the cell from the inside area of the cell. And I've got a diagram here for you. So usually when we diagram in 2 dimensions, we just have a circle, but a cell, of course, is like a ball, right, in 3 dimensions. And it has this wall, which would be like the outside of the ball. And here in 2 dimensions, you can see it's the outside of the circle. And that's actually made up of stuff, right, to keep the area outside the cell separate from the area inside the cell. And if we take a little slice of that cell membrane and we look over here, we can see what it's composed of. These circles with these little squigglies there, you can see they're lined up here, and there's a row of them here. Those are actually lipid molecules. So those form what are called a lipid bilayer. And if you recognize the term lipid, it is associated with fat. And then you can see right in the middle of this lipid bilayer here, you've got this red thing, right? That, in this diagram, is a protein that helps to shuttle things in and outside the cell. And then on the end of the protein here, you've got these little blue circles, and that is actually carbohydrates, right? So you've actually got lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates here right in the cell membrane. Now, do you want to guess where your body gets the lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates needed for each cell? Yes. If you guessed it's from the food that you eat, move to the head of the class. So in this very simple example of a cell wall, now remember, your body is composed of cells, and you have about 37 trillion of these in your body. In this very simple example of a cell wall, we can see that the basic building blocks of a cell wall, mainly protein, carbohydrates, and fats, are needed, and they need to be pulled from your diet in order for your body to create cells or repair cells. Every cell of your body is made up of what you eat. Every time a cell needs to be repaired, it's repaired with tissue from the food that you eat. Have you ever heard the phrase, "You are what you eat"? Well, it's pretty spot on. And of course, the last part of the definition of food is that it's used to furnish energy. And now, you might have watched some of my other videos and you're thinking, hey, Doc, but I know sugar can be burned as energy. And you said in some of those other videos that, I really shouldn't be eating sugar. In fact, sugar maybe can be completely eliminated from my diet, so what's up with that? And you're right. Sugar can be a source of energy, but it's like dirty fuel. It's a dirty source of energy, whereas healthy fat in your diet is actually a much more clean source of fuel. So sugar does fit part of this definition, but as I mentioned earlier, we'll take up that, the right kinds of foods to eat in another video. Okay, so how do you apply this? Well, make sure that when you decide to eat something, first of all, that it's actually food and not something else. And just as important, make sure that you eat for the right reasons. You should eat to fulfill this definition, to sustain growth, repair vital processes, right? So you don't eat to fill your stomach. You don't eat to please your taste buds or to calm your nerves. Food should be eaten to help your body to grow, function, and repair itself, and so that you have the energy you need to do the things in life that you want to do. Once you have that down, then we can move to more detail, which is like, what exactly are the best foods to eat? Okay, I'll see you in the next video.